Coming up tonight, the driver responsible for killing a Liverpool teen in 2010 is again arrested.
A Rochester pharmaceutical company is facing felony charges for the first time in relation to an opioid case.
And the leader of a militia group claims its members were training to kill Obama and other Democrats.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Justin Arnold.
And I'm Brianna Watson. A militant group in New Mexico have been apprehended at the border. The group, going by the name the United Constitutional Patriots, set camp at the Mexico border and would apprehend individuals crossing into the United States, presuming they were illegals. Once they apprehended the individuals, the group would round them up and hand them over to Border Patrol. In information received in a CNN report, the group discussed training to assassinate prominent Democrats like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton.
The leader of the militia, Larry Mitchell Hopkins, was brought in on federal weapons charges. Hopkins has 3 other federal charges to his name, including impersonating a peace officer in 1996 in the state of Oregon. A letter from U.S. Customs and Border Control states that they, quote, does not endorse or condone private groups or organizations taking enforcement matters into their own hands. Interference by civilians in law enforcement matters could have public safety and legal consequences for all parties involved.
Some Arizona classrooms have stopped giving out homework, but it isn't because it's almost summer. No, one elementary school actually ran out of paper, and when one grandfather learned of the budget shortfall, he supplied his own. Cameron Pollum explains.
Golly, a school without paper is like a school with no kids. What good is it?
Walter Buse says last week his grandson stopped bringing home homework from Falcon Hill Elementary.
Normally on a Monday, he gets his homework for a week. And I thought, well, okay.
But when he heard the same story Tuesday, no homework, then again Wednesday, Buse began to wonder if his grandson was pulling a fast one.
I thought, well, if he's like me, I know what he's doing.
So Buse went to the school and got a surprising answer.
He says, I'm sorry, we don't have any paper. We've used up our quota for the year and we can't buy any more.
Mesa Public Schools says a situation like this can happen from time to time as we inch towards the end of the year.
It's, a tight year for us, for sure. So you get toward the end of the year and when things are tight, you might run out.
Head of Finance for Mesa Schools, Scott Thompson, says schools are allocated a budget and how it's spent falls on the principal. He says a measure that would have increased funding to the district failed in November. And along with a lack of investment in education by the state, things have gotten tough.
And that has been cut for many years since the recession. And we really desperately need that money back.
Not to be discouraged by bureaucratic red tape, Buse went shopping and dropped off a shipment of paper last week.
You'd think I carried in a basket of gold the way they acted at the office, so I knew it was appreciated.
Buse and the district hope others follow suit, filling in the gaps so kids don't slip through. In Mesa, I'm Cameron Pollum, ABC 15 Arizona.
At this point, the district does not believe any other schools are out of paper.
The woman responsible for the death of a Liverpool teen while driving drunk in 2010 has been arrested again in relation to another drunken car crash. 26-year-old Chelsea Cuss of Syracuse was arrested 6 days after crashing outside of Rosie's Pub in Syracuse and leaving the vehicle on its side. According to a police spokesman, Cuss was arrested on multiple charges, including a DWI, which comes 3 years after her prison release for the prior drunk driving arrest in 2011. Cuss is currently being held in the Onondaga County Justice Center.
The Oswego DMV will close every Wednesday until further notice starting tomorrow. County officials say the closure is a necessity for the ongoing construction of the new Oswego DMV, and it should result in an overall improvement of service. Regular office hours of 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. will still be observed on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. The Fulton DMV, located at 200 North 2nd Street in Fulton, will still be open weekdays from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
A business in upstate New York is switching to clean, sustainable energy that will benefit their farm and community for years to come, just in time for Earth Day. Erica Lee has the story from Riverside Maple Farms.
1, 2, 3.
Trees are the heart of our business.
And now those very trees are getting a little extra love. Riverside Maple Farms is flipping the switch to 100% solar energy.
being able to put in the solar to be a responsible steward and provide clean natural energy to make our syrup, to run our kitchen, to keep the lights on for our visitors. It just embodies what it is that we do.
Riverside Maple Farms is just the first farm in upstate New York to tap into solar energy, but across the country, the USDA's 2017 Ag Census, just released on April 11th, says renewable source usage on farms and ranches is up 132%.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, very progressive. You know, it's important that we lessen our footprint here on the earth, obviously.
Ketsley says the step Riverside Maple is taking is just the first in the town of Glenville.
We at the town are doing the same. We're going to be building 2 actual solar farms to power the town, and so we're very excited. The excess will be sold on the market to the residents for those who want to buy green energy.
And Welch says while solar energy fits their farm's model well, there is another sweet reward.
It's something that makes sense for us both from an environmental perspective but also from a business perspective.
Because at the end of the day, the Welches want to make sure their farm is grade A for years to come.
Maple as a tradition is generational, and this is a foundation of us being generational moving forward.
Across the country, renewable energy usage has increased 132%. This is the first farm to do so in Glenville.
For the first time ever, a pharmaceutical company and 2 of its former executives are facing federal criminal charges in connection to an opioid case. Rochester Drug Cooperative in New York is accused of illegally distributing oxycodone and fentanyl and conspiring to defraud the DEA. Authorities announced the charges Tuesday, calling the prosecution the first of its kind.
Rochester Drug Cooperative, or RDC, is one of the nation's largest drug distributors. From 2012 to 2017, it shipped tens of millions of highly addictive oxycodone pills and fentanyl products to pharmacies that it knew were illegally dispensing narcotics.
Rochester Drug Cooperative has agreed to pay $20 million in fines over a 5-year period to settle the case. The company's former CEO, Lawrence Dowd, is facing 2 conspiracy counts. If convicted, the 75-year-old could spend years behind bars. Rochester Drug's former Chief Compliance Officer, William Pietrzewski, also faced the same 2 charges along with an additional count. Authorities say he pleaded guilty to all 3 charges Friday and is cooperating with investigators.
Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh and Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon are encouraging Syracuse residents to voice their opinions on the Interstate 81 project. This comes after the State Department of Transportation voted in favor of demolishing the Interstate 81 viaduct downtown and building a community grid. The community leaders want residents to attend hearings held by the Department of Transportation and express their opinions on the project after the ongoing debate over the future of 81. Coming up later tonight, we have an update on the bombing attacks in Sri Lanka.
And a tiger attacks on an employee of a Kansas zoo, how it happened, and details about the investigation in progress. Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Walker Snowden.
Thanks, guys. As we take a look at our current temperatures for the region, we're actually staying fairly consistent, 59 here in Oswego, around 55 in Fulton. And as for our radar and satellite, we've actually seen a significant band come through and it's actually heading to our east. No more rain for the rest of tonight. But however, we are around a 42-degree low, 20 to 30 miles an hour out of the west winds. More news and sports after the break.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Oh my god, so you'll never believe what happened to Khloe Kardashian this week.
Oh my god, what happened? Tell me.
Okay, so she was at the mall, shopping at Saks.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
Hey, we're practicing for our new show, What's the Tea, starring me.
And me.
Hey, Brianna, when does it air?
Every other Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot.
Anyway, I can't wait for you to sip some tea with us.
Only on WTOP.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Walker Snowden, and let's just go ahead and start out with our almanac. We're actually around 76-degree high today. That's significantly above average. However, we were still nowhere close to our record set back in 2001 as a high of 88 degrees. Again, our low is actually still above average as well, around 42 degrees as a low, and that record low of 20 degrees set back in 1930. As for our winds, we're actually seeing a significant increase in winds over the past several hours. We're currently at around 32 miles an hour, and we're only going to actually slightly increase as we head into the evening. 36 miles an hour around 12 at night, and as you head into the morning on your way to work and or class, we're going to be around 27 miles an hour here in Oswego, and comparable in the entire region as well. And as we continue and head on into tomorrow afternoon at around 6, those winds are still fairly consistent, not too much drop off, but as we head later into Thursday, we're finally going to see those winds go back down to what we're used to, and even more so as we head into Thursday morning. Now, this is one of my favorite graphics. Let's just go over winds versus trash cans. With those winds really picking up, where do you guys think the trash can is actually going to end up? I'm going to say probably in your neighbor's yard. With those 36 mile an hour degrees, you're going to see that trash can go a little ways away. But as we go in and take a look at our futurecast, we're around 46 degrees right now, fairly cloudy over the entire region. We're seeing a little bit of rain over near Pulaski, and as we head later into the night and into the morning, we're actually going to see that rain possibly turn into snow. I know that's not what people want to hear, but 37 degrees around Harrisburg, and that's definitely going to bring some snow. But as we head in later into Wednesday at around 6 p.m., we're going to see the skies open up just a little bit more, no more precipitation, and again, as we continue on into Thursday evening and into Thursday at around 4 a.m., we're actually going to see temperatures decrease to around 41 degrees, and we're going to stay fairly consistent and clear. Now, just to recap, we're going to have a 42-degree low tonight in Oswego, around 44 in Fairhaven, and tomorrow's highs around 48. That's a significant difference from 76 today. That's quite a bummer if you ask me. But as we recap again, winds 20 to 30 miles an hour coming out of the west. We're going to stay fairly cloudy over the entire night and around 48 degrees as a high. Now, lastly, if we're taking a look at our 7-day, we're actually going to, we're going to stay fairly windy tomorrow, but the high for the week is around 58 degrees on Thursday. And as for Saturday and Sunday, we're going to get a little more showers. But that's all I have for now. More news and sports after the break.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
Hi, I'm Zachary Haynes. I'm the new host and producer of the new comedy sketch show, Acting Out, a comedy sketch show by college students for college students. You can check us out here on WTOP every other Sunday this semester on B weekends. Okay, I guess B weekends are down here now in the bottom left corner of your screen. Anyways, we got all sorts of great sketch. Okay, guys, what's going on with the set? What's going?
I got some Oxy after I hurt my neck. First, I took them to feel better. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. A second man convicted in the 1998 dragging death of James Byrd Jr. is facing the death penalty this week. The man, identified as 44-year-old John William King, has repeatedly appealed his guilty verdict after a letter he sent to the Dallas Morning News was used against him. The U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear his case last October. Some of Byrd's family members have spoken out against the capital punishment of his killers, saying that, quote, "You can't fight murder with murder."
A Pennsylvania woman suspected for weeks someone had been entering her home while she was away. She tried to ignore it, but soon discovered a dangerous ex-boyfriend was living in her attic. Courtney Brennan reports the protection from abuse, or PFA, granted to her by a judge clearly didn't work.
I feel that this is going to affect me for the rest of my life.
This woman will never be the same. We're not using her name or showing her face to protect her identity, but she did share what happened to her.
I had an intuition about it, but I ignored it. I brushed it aside. I didn't want to seem paranoid or, and you never think this will happen to you, but I should have trusted my instinct because I was right.
For the last 3 weeks, she says she saw signs inside her Brighton Heights home that someone else might be living there. She was afraid it was her ex-boyfriend, Kerry Kakazi. The first sign was the toilet seat in her bathroom.
Nobody in my home uses the bathroom that way, and I didn't have any visitors. So I just thought, gosh, is this guy in my house? This is so strange.
The second sign was this blanket she found in a corner of her basement where no one ever went.
I knew that blanket had not been there before. I knew it. But what could I do? I already had the PFA against him. I can't call the police and say there's a blanket in my basement.
She did have an active PFA against Kakazi, but on Saturday night, she found him standing in the middle of her bedroom, and he grabbed her by the face, and she fought him off. She ran outside screaming, and 6 neighbors called 911. She's so thankful her 2 daughters weren't home this weekend, but she also feels incredibly violated and worries about what might happen when Kakazi gets out of jail.
He did not respect the PFA. Who knows what could have happened?
Police say Kakazi told them he has been homeless several times in the past 2 years.
A Florida judge has sealed a video in the massage parlor prostitution case of New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft. The video allegedly showed him engaging in sexual acts with an employee of the Florida massage parlor. Judge Leonard Hanser said that the video would normally be released. However, due to his status as a franchise owner, the intense media publicity could bias potential jury members, which would violate his right to a fair trial.
A 24-year-old Wisconsin resident has claimed the 3rd largest jackpot in U.S. lottery history. The winner of the jackpot, Manuel Franco, has been buying Powerball tickets regularly since he turned 18, and he now holds $768.4 million in winnings after he bought a ticket from a Speedway gas station last March. Franco has set up a legal and financial team to help ensure he doesn't make bad decisions with his winnings.
According to Indian officials, a detained ISIS suspect gave advanced warning of the recent bombings in Sri Lanka during interrogation. Detained by Sri Lankan investigators, the suspect gave them the name of a man he trained while in the country. The man, Zaran Hashim, was later identified as a member of a local extremist group. A statement released by ISIS identified him and claimed he was a member of their organization. The statement also claims the Easter Sunday bombings were an ISIS attack.
At least 16 people have died as a result of two major earthquakes that occurred in the Philippines yesterday and this morning. The first tremor had a magnitude of 6.1 hitting the Southeast Asian archipelago Luzon Island, and the second one being a 6.3 on the island of Samar. The Office of Civil Defense stated 29 structures have sustained damage from the first quake. It is reported that 81 people remain injured and 14 are still missing. No tsunami warning has been issued.
There's still so many questions surrounding what happened at Topeka Zoo over the weekend when a tiger attacked one of the zookeepers. Several investigations are now underway. Finding the truth might be difficult. Sean Wheat reports.
The Topeka Zoo is conducting its own internal investigation into Saturday's tiger attack that injured a 17-year zoo veteran. But it won't be the only one. The USDA is the federal regulatory agency that oversees zoos. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums accreditates the organization, giving them access to conservation programs and resources.
The USDA will make a response here when they feel the time is right. In terms of AZA, we'll be submitting a report to the Accreditation Commission.
Zoo Director Brendan Wiley says the zoo is investigating all aspects of what unfolded Saturday and feels their investigation will uncover any changes that must be made.
Each organization, I'm sure, will take kind of our internal results as a basis for what they do next.
Wiley says they may never know what exactly happened because cameras did not show that part of the exhibit. The only cameras currently on the tigers focus on the cubs area.
This incident was not caught on video. I don't know if there's video of it.
Wiley asks anyone who caught the incident on their cell phone to share the video with the zoo. He says they are looking into adding more cameras for the future.
What we had in place wasn't good enough Saturday morning.
Inspection reports from the USDA show that the Topeka Zoo has been compliant with the agency's guidelines for housing animals since 2016. Coming up in sports, Mike Morano gives us his sports report.
Hey Mike, can you give us a quick preview?
Thanks guys. The Arizona Cardinals are faced with a big dilemma coming into this NFL draft, and the NHL playoffs are heating up. All this and more in WTOP 10 Nightly News.
I tried Oxy at a couple of parties. I thought I had it under control. I didn't know it'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Mike Morano with your sports update. You know the drill. Let's go right into Oswego sports. Two Oswego athletes were recognized for their outstanding play in the SUNYAC Conference and were awarded Player of the Week. Rebecca Vilches helped the softball team to a 6-0 week made up of all conference wins. Vilches now leads Oswego in ERA and strikeouts. As for Danielle Walker, she led the Lakers lacrosse team to an 18-1 victory over Buffalo State and set season's high in minutes, caused turnovers, ground balls, and draw controls. The Oswego State men's tennis team fell to Alfred State by a score of 6-3. Alex Mintz claimed his 5th singles matchups win, and Seth Stoppler won his 6th slotted singles battle in 3 sets, but the men fell to 5-7 on the year. The tennis team will travel to St. John's Fisher on Saturday, where they have struggled with immensely, having a record of 1-13 against the school. They will close out the year against Sage College the next day on Sunday, April 27th at 3 p.m. Over to football, the draft day is finally upon us, and I wish I could tell you it would be the first overall pick. According to Pete Prisco of CBS Sports, there's only the one lock. The Arizona Cardinals may not draft Kyler Murray with their first overall pick. If I had to guess, I think they might have found out that they already drafted a top-tier quarterback with the 10th overall pick last year in Josh Rosen. Now over to the ice rink. We have a packed day of a lot of big games for the NHL as we're set to see 2 Game 7s today. With the sense of deja vu, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins will have a Game 7 for the first time since 2013. The Vegas Golden Knights will take on the Sharks in San Jose as the Knights could not close out Game 6 in double overtime as they gave up 2 shorthanded goals to Thomas Hertl. Now let's travel to Los Angeles where the New York Yankees are taking on the Angels. Luke Voigt up here in the first at-bat in the bottom of the first. Matt Harvey pitching. That's a great sense for the Mets fans here as Luke Voigt will take Matt Harvey deep, going back all the way to the center field, and that one is gone to give the Yankees the quick 1-0 lead. Now, bottom of the second, Jonathan Lucroy will have a spot here. Click, clack, boom, pow. Hits it to deep center field, going back. Brett Gardner takes a leap of faith, and that ball is gone. The Angels take a lead here, 2-1. It's going down, and guess what? I'm yelling timber. Kevin Smith goes down tumbling. Bottom at the top of the 14th here. I just want to go to bed already. Gio Urshela singles, drives in Gleyber Torres to give the Yankees the 4-3 lead. Now, bottom of the 14th, the Angels don't want to make that happen here. Trevor Carrillo on the hill strikes out, and that'll give it, and that'll be it. Here's the Yankees. Give the Yankees a quick one by a score of 4-3. Yankees go to 12-10 on the year. 3 a.m. Eastern time, this game will end, and luckily I wasn't up for that, as the Yankees fans could also rejoice about that.
You said 14 innings?
14 whole innings.
14.
I was gladly asleep for that.
Till 3 a.m. too?
Yep.
Jeez,
No. That is miserable.
That is miserable. Fun, but still a lot. But that's enough of sports. But Walker, you gotta tell me, it was absolutely beautiful today with rain, but you're telling me we gotta deal with that for the rest of the week?
I'm afraid so. I mean, it'll be a little warmer on Thursday compared to tomorrow, but even as we head into the rest of the week and the weekends, we're even gonna see a little bit more drop in temperature as well as a little bit more rain come weekend time.
Oh no, that's literally, I'm literally wearing yellow today. I was supposed to be, sunshine. But we have to say, though, this is Walker and Mike's last week with us.
Yes.
We'll be back. But
yeah, you guys will be back, but
yeah.
It's been fun. I'm really glad to have been a part of this, and it's just been great.
It's been awesome having you on.
It's been really
Thank you so
much fun. And teaching us about sports.
Yes,
because,
yes.
We're not the sports people.
Yes.
Some of us have
needed
it.
I do my best.
Yes, and telling us about the weather. Thank you. But that's our report for tonight, so be sure to stay tuned for the season finale of Let's Talk About It.
Thanks.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion. Learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
It's back and better than ever. One student can win up to $25 in cash. All on Oswego's favorite game show, Spin to Win! Every Sunday night at 9, only on WTOP 10 TV.